The NBA All-Star Game has been a fixture of the league since 1951, where the first game took place in the historic Boston Garden. Since that time, the game has grown into a weekend-long event that has provided us several memorable moments, such as Jordan's free throw line dunk, Bird's three-point shootout dominance, and Bieber's knockdown jumper. Through it all, the featured event has been the All-Star Game itself, a game that has mashed up some of the all-time greats and has given fans a chance to see their favorite stars play together on the same court. The East has been historically dominant, winning 37 of the 54 games that have been held. And with all of this said, the question still remains: who truly is the most dominant conference? To answer this question, we must ask ourselves, what if the best Eastern Conference All-Stars matched up against the best Western Conference All-Stars? What players would thrive in the high stakes? What players would struggle? And at the end of the day, who would be crowned the champion? Now, we must first draft rosters for each conference. Only All-Star Game MVPs are eligible, and only 10 members will be chosen for each conference. Starting at point guard for the East, we have 12-time All-Star Isaiah Thomas. In 1986, he dominated the game with 30 points, 10 assists, and 5 steals. At shooting guard, we have none other than Michael Jordan. Jordan was a noticeable All-Star legend, winning 3 All-Star Game MVPs. 1988 was his best effort, as he notched 40 points, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and tied an All-Star Game record with 4 blocks in a half. The small forward position is held by LeBron James, a 12-time All-Star and 2-time Game MVP. King James holds the record for most three-pointers in an All-Star Game career, and in 2008 he knocked down 2 triples to go along with his 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 9 assists. And at the other forward, we have Scottie Pippen. His only MVP came in 1994, where he proved he was much more than Jordan's sidekick, scoring 29 points and grabbing 11 rebounds to go along with 4 steals. And at center for the East is Wilt Chamberlain, a 4-time All-Star Game MVP. His best performance came in 1960, where he set a record for most rebounds in a half with 16. Off the bench for the East, the backup guards are Kyrie Irving, who had 31 points and 14 assists in 2014, and Dwayne Wade, who filled the stat sheet in 2010 with 28 points, 6 boards, 11 assists, and 5 steals. And the backup forwards bring us 2 members of the Philadelphia 76ers. Julius Erving, in 1977, finished with 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 steals, while Charles Barkley, in 1991, finished with an insane 22 rebounds to go along with 17 points and 4 assists. And the backup center is none other than Bill Russell, who, despite being a 5-time regular season MVP, only won the All-Star Game MVP once, in 1963. Now, matching up against this incredible East squad are the Titans of the Western Conference. The point guard of the team is no surprise, with 12-time All-Star Magic Johnson leading the offense. Magic holds the record for most assists in an All-Star Game career. However, his best MVP year came in 1992. And at the 2 guard is fellow Laker Kobe Bryant. The Black Mamba is tied for the record with most All-Star Game MVPs with 4. In 2011, he had a monster performance, finishing with 37 points and setting an NBA All-Star Game record with 10 offensive rebounds. And at the small forward spot, we have Rick Barry. Barry was an 8-time All-Star and holds the record for steals in a game with 8. However, it was his 1967 performance that landed him the MVP award. At power forward for the West is 15-time All-Star Kevin Garnett. Garnett won his only All-Star Game MVP in 2003, finishing with 37 points, 9 boards, and 5 steals. And rounding up the starters, we have Shaquille O'Neal at the center spot. Shaq earns his spot in the starting lineup with 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 blocks in the 2004 game. And off the bench for the West, Oscar Robertson and Russell Westbrook lead the backup guard spots. The Big O almost finished with a triple-double in the 1961 game. Westbrook, on the other hand, earned his spot with a monstrous 2015 game, where he set an All-Star Game record with 27 points and a half. The backup forward spots are held by Kevin Durant, who won the 2012 MVP after scoring 36 points, and Karl Malone. Malone, a 14-time All-Star, won co-MVP in 1993 with his longtime pick-and-roll partner John Stockton. And at the backup center, Tim Duncan, the big fundamental, rides his only All-Star Game MVP in 2000. And so, with the roster set, the only thing left to do is play the game. In the first quarter, the West opened the scoring off with a contested jumper from Kobe, assisted by Magic. They continue to build an early lead, until Michael Jordan begins to take over. Jordan scores twice in the half court, then rips Kobe Bryant and finishes in transition to even the score at 10-10. The quarter finishes on a high note for the West, however, as they lead 24-20 after Rick Barry goes on his own personal 6-0 run, scoring twice off feeds from Magic and once off a gorgeous pass from Kobe. As the second quarter begins, Dwayne Wade is subbed in for the first time. Full of energy, energy, Wade attacks the basket early, scoring twice off great drives to the basket. Then, as the defense sags, he knocks down a 3 off a beautiful look from Kyrie Irving. Tim Duncan, on the other hand, makes the most of his time in the second, posting up for a quick score, then finishing a nice basket off a Russell Westbrook miss. At the 6-minute mark, the West takes a 6-point lead after Kevin Durant finishes an N1 and converts the free throw. The lead grows to 9 after a nice move to the basket by Magic, who surprises the defense by taking it all the way instead of passing. The East goes on a mini run of their own to end the half, fueled by back-to-back baskets from Scottie Pippen and LeBron James. James finishes the half by showcasing his abilities, as he rebounds a Rick Barry miss and scores on a transition jumper to put the East down 5 heading into the break. The beginning of the second half is all Magic Johnson, as even in a game full of stars, his abilities shine through. On top of grabbing several rebounds in the opening few minutes, Magic also knocks down a short jumper and feeds Kevin Garnett for a huge dunk. He doesn't stop there though, as he then proceeds to set Kobe Bryant up for a wide open 3-point look, and then wraps up his show-stopping performance with a slick alley-oop pass to Shaq. The East continues to trail but hangs in the game off of consecutive threes from LeBron James and Dwayne Wade, and pulls again to within 5 off of an Isaiah Thomas layup. From there, the quarter ends in a battle of big men, as Shaq proves his dominance with 3 baskets in the paint as the quarter winds down. Not looking to seem overmatched, Wilt demands the ball in the paint and picks up 3 baskets off of some impressive post moves, but still the Eastern Conference trails by 5 points going into the fourth quarter. The game begins its final quarter with a quick Oscar Robertson score, followed by a Dwayne Wade jumper set up from a feed by Kyrie. The East again begins to fall behind, as the 3 Lakers show remarkable chemistry. Magic feeds Kobe for an open jumper, then Kobe feeds Shaq for an even more open dunk, and Magic caps off this short run with a post move of his own, and the East finds itself down 9 with 8 minutes to go. At this point, they need stops and get them, keyed by 2 tremendous blocks from Bill Russell. After a give and go that finds Charles Barkley scoring off of a feed from Julius Erving, the East finds themselves down 1 with 4 minutes remaining. With both teams' starters in, the East runs a play for Jordan, who hits Isaiah Thomas streaking down the lane for a tough floater. Their lead is short-lived, however, as Kobe hits a fadeaway in Jordan's face to regain the lead with 3 minutes remaining. Again, in another tense possession, the play is called for Jordan, who finds an open LeBron James, who then returns the ball back to Jordan for a clutch jumper. On the other end, Shaq is rejected by Wilt, and in transition, Isaiah Thomas is able to find LeBron for a thunderous dunk and a 3-point lead. The West calls time and sets up a play for Kevin Garnett, who gets fouled and knocks down both free throws. Now, up 1, the East takes their time and runs an isolation play for Jordan, who comes up big with a driving layup. Magic tries to find Kobe, but they cannot convert, and again LeBron comes up big. Trailing late, Kobe attempts a game-tying 3, but is off, and the game is all but over. The East makes their free throws down the stretch, and wrap up the game with a 111-102 victory. With the win, Michael Jordan is named the game's MVP, finishing the game with 30 points and proving to be the biggest star in a game full of them. The East was also led from the dominant inside play of Wilt Chamberlain, as well as the all-around performance of Scottie Pippen. Looking at the West, Magic Johnson had an incredible game despite the loss.